Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Yes, Gino, I'm going to say the same thing I say pretty much every week at this hour. This time of the hour, it's our last segment, and the saddest time for Gino and I because we love being with you. Obviously, we've been doing this now for over 6 years, every week, sharing with you what you need to know, want to know, and should know about real estate, finance, your community, your children, and so much more. And today is no different, and we'd like you to join us by go to donandgino.com. Click on the live streaming button. You enter the studio right here, the Vault Media Studio. You'll see our good friend, Mr. Don SHERWYN, with the Reap Rickett Law Firm. He's been on our show many times, calm, cool, collected, and informed. And today we're talking about a very sensitive subject and very timely and important as we head into the summer months when your children are getting off of school and have all this time. And divorced families are trying to deal with how do we deal with the children and the family vacations. And now we're going to talk about some options for you. Don is an expert, and he's got other ways to help you handle that, the timing, the planning, the activities, to fight some potential litigation that come with it. Go ahead, Gino.
So I'm going to jump into one piece here real quick because I was kind of left. We did talk about the 3 ways, right, that you could do. There's the conciliatory court. There's these different ways, but, you know, some parents can't even communicate. They can't even get on the phone together.
That's impossible. No way.
I mean, not at all. So do you use a mediator in between for every communication? I don't even know where to start. So let's think about that. We have a family. They're divided. The plan's not in place. Where do they start?
You have brought up, again, a very difficult area that hurts the children, hurts the family. But what it usually comes down to is that a professional is either appointed by the court or the parties themselves select a therapist to be their custody, I guess you would call it custody arbitrator, their custody referee. And so when issues like that come up, they will bring them to the referee, to their mediator, and say, here's the problem, here's what I want, and then the other side says what they want, and the mediator or arbitrator or referee will say either, here's what you're going to do, or here are my recommendations. If they're the mediator, they make the recommendations, and then the parents get to decide which one they're going to accept, if they're going to accept any of them, or if they're going to file something and go to court. If there's actually a referee, the referee acts as a stand-in judge and says, this is what you're going to do. And if a party wants to litigate that, they can, but the judge, in probably 9 cases out of 10, is going to say, this is what the referee said. The referee had good reason for saying it. Here's the good reasons. And so I am affirming what the referee recommended, and you're ordered to follow it.
Now, what about time? That could take time. We could erode
the whole
summer trying to negotiate who gets the kids and then who loses the kids.
But that's exactly what the real sorrow is. The real sorrow is that many of my clients use up their entire life and much of their children's lives, and probably every hope that their children will ever have for emotional stability and a sense of solidarity under them by fighting over these matters.
See, I have to hit you because this is important for all of you out there, because when this is a difficult situation, whether you're going through divorce or child custody and stuff. What I love about your law firm and why I personally work with your law firm is that you guys have a passion for doing the right things, to eliminate the emotional and even the financial stress that can be involved with these situations. You guys always try to do the right thing. I mean, if it's a divorce, it's try to mediate. If it's with the children, try to come to an agreement that's best for the children. I love that about your passion and the passion, because that's what you want to look for. You don't need sharks, because all they're going to do is take money out of your pocket, in my opinion.
Well, I think that you hit a real right on point. What Gino said is what, after you do this for 25 or 30 years, you see is the real human sorrow of it, the human tragedy of it, is that nobody wins. Even if you win in court, you lose in life. Because your children are twisted. Your children are full of anger and hurt and sorrow. You walk around with a pit of rage inside of you at the other party. And life is too short. I would much rather help my client work out a feasible, workable way, point out the negatives that are driving them, and work around them for the benefit of their children, and in always, inevitably, for my client's own benefit. Don't use up the summer. Start thinking about summer in March or February. Have your parenting plan for the summer worked out by April 30th at the latest. That's what I usually put in my judgments and recommend to my clients as the drop-dead date for them exchanging. I want this week of July and this week of August, or I want these 2 weeks in July and this 1 week in August. And in the even years, the mother gets the choice, the first choice. In the odd years, the father gets the first choice of weeks. Things that are simple and workable and don't take any thinking, just happen.
Well, this is why it's great to work with the professionals. You know, Gino, I guarantee when you listen to him about this is your option and think about this and think about this, it's just like with any profession. I know we help our clients when they're looking at home finances. We go, well, did you think about this? And we ask the right questions and can help lead them down what we feel is a path that they probably might not even thought of. We talk to our trust attorney, same thing. They ask questions and you're like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
You can help as a professional when, if any of you are dealing with these custody issues, you know, what's nice is you guys can help with your vast experience going, here's how we helped past clients with these situations. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Do you want to avoid this? We can help you avoid this.
Now, I'm going to throw out a caveat that has to do with our business sometimes. Not everything is rational. Some people are completely irrational.
No.
And they don't make decisions at all based on logic. And that's where I think you encounter difficulty, because how do you deal with someone who's not logical? And I think that's where the real difficulty comes in, you know.
That is exactly what the difficulty becomes. And in situations like that, just as, and I can't assume this, but I kind of figure it's logical and likely. If they're really, really irrational, you say, here's a point where I think that something in your mind is pulling you into a very dysfunctional direction. Why don't you talk to... Here's a couple of names of therapists you can talk to air this with, and maybe get down to the root so that you and I can really work forward to help your decision about which houses or which type of house you're going to go for. And it's the same way with me. If I've got a client who is not able to really help me and help themselves with their case because of a real rage, a real emotional problem, I want to get them with a therapist so they can express what it is and get some professional feedback.
Yeah, sometimes needed, especially in very emotional situations like divorce and children.
Yep.
All right, so what's the best way to get a hold of you in case you need some advice, some assistance? I highly suggest the Rickett Law Firm and Don Sherwyn. You're a good dude. So how do they get a hold of you, man?
They call me on my phone, 661-288-1000. We have our website, the Divorce Digest, and heck, just give Don and Gino a call. If you can't remember anything else, they'll say their phone number is, and ask for our good buddy Don.
There you go, 855-DON Gino. 855-DON Gino will hook you up with the real Don Steele, Mr. Don Sherwyn. Thank you for joining us. Always fun, always great information, and thank you for being part of our show.
It is my pleasure, and Gino, it's so good to see you again.
Good to be back.
All right, unfortunately, we have to close the show, but again, every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on AM 1220 KHTS. You can find out more by going to donandgino.com.
And this year we ask you to take action. And this year we said this show is Take Action by April 30th every year.
There you go. All right. Find out more at donandgino.com. Have a wonderful weekend.